Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so we are talking about pregnenolone, progesterone, the steroid hormones, all of which are derived from cholesterol, or more accurately, are types of cholesterol. Cholesterol, in turn, is derived from fat and sugar in the diet. We eat sugar, we eat fat. Fancy chemistry takes place and cholesterol is produced. Of course, if you eat cholesterol, that will also increase cholesterol in your blood, and your body can make steroid hormones from the cholesterol you eat, as well as from the cholesterol that you make. The steroid hormones are one of two classes of hormones. You get your water-soluble peptide hormones. Those are produced from genes. And then you have your fat-soluble steroid hormones. Those are produced from cholesterol, whether it's in the diet or whether it's the cholesterol we make. Because of the relationship, by the way, between the steroid hormones and the diet, there's lots we can do via eating behavior to regulate the production of the steroid hormones, particularly when it comes to fat absorption and the intestine. Just another reason why you want to be using your Ultimate Nightly Essence and Ultimate Enzymes, as well as perhaps bile salts and lecithin on a regular, if not a daily, basis. They support the production of your fatty hormones. They support your production of your steroid hormones. By the way, apple cider vinegar can be helpful too. You'll process and utilize fats and fatty vitamins more effectively when you're using your Ultimate Nightly Essence, when you're using your Ultimate Enzymes. If you're using lecithin and bile salts and apple cider vinegar on a regular basis, you'll be able to leverage the steroid hormone system much more effectively. As far as the fatty vitamins go, vitamins D and E and K, or D and E and A and K, I call it DEEK. Those are your four fatty vitamins. Vitamins A and D can actually be thought of as hormones. Vitamin D is a kind of a steroid hormone. In essence, it's a version of cholesterol. And vitamin E acts to protect hormones. Vitamin K stimulates steroid hormone activity, particularly when it comes to building strong bones. So the steroid hormones are the fatty hormones. They're the cholesterol hormones. They're versions of cholesterol. They're involved in building. They're involved in growth. They're involved in anti-aging. There are youth hormones. And they're involved in our long-term responses to life. We've been talking about pregnenolone and progesterone. Pregnenolone is uber mild, super mild. Progesterone, less so. Progesterone does have, it's further away from cholesterol, so you got to be a little bit more respectful of progesterone than you do pregnenolone. You can buy pregnenolone pretty readily on the internet or at health food stores. You can buy progesterone cream. You can't buy straight progesterone, but you can buy progesterone cream over the counter. But most progesterone creams that you get over the counter will only have a very small, almost an insignificant dose of progesterone. If you really want to do progesterone right, you need a doctor's prescription for it, and the best way to do it is to get a compounding pharmacist to make a 10% cream. If you use a 10% cream, you need only about a quarter teaspoonful or so every day, and you get yourself a pretty nice dose of progesterone. If you go on the internet or you buy over-the-counter progesterone cream, you're not going to get very much progesterone at all, and sometimes you won't even get any progesterone. Sometimes a lot of companies will use yam or soy, and they'll tell you it's progesterone. So you can still get some progesterone in some products. Swanson makes one, I think, but it's very small, almost insignificant. So pregnenolone is a mild and benign hormone. Progesterone is also mild, but it does have I don't want to say toxicity, but it's more potent than pregnenolone, so you got to be a little bit careful. Both of them, both pregnenolone and progesterone, are calming hormones. They're both protective hormones. They're both coping hormones. And both pregnenolone and progesterone are converted into super strong stress hormones. Pregnenolone is tweaked and it becomes progesterone, and then progesterone is tweaked and it becomes cortisol and substances similar to cortisol. Progesterone and pregnenolone also get converted into blood pressure control hormones. The steroid system controls blood pressure. There's a hormone called aldosterone that nobody ever talks about, which is unfortunate because it's super important. And it controls salt balance. Aldosterone is important for helping control salt in the blood. And aldosterone also comes from progesterone and pregnenolone. Here's the thing about progesterone, pregnenolone. Yes, it's true. They can be converted into our stress management hormones, but it's also true that progesterone and pregnenolone can be converted into our sex hormones, into our growth hormones. When I say sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen, I'm talking about growth hormones and anti-aging hormones and youth hormones and healing hormones and beautiful skin hormones and sex hormones, libido hormones, fertility hormones. So progesterone and pregnenolone have a choice. They can either get converted into stress hormones or they can get converted into anti-aging hormones. I should say the body has a choice. The body can either convert our pregnenolone and progesterone into helping us deal with stress or into anti-aging us, but it can't do both as effectively. So if you're off making a lot of stress hormone, you're not going to be making your anti-aging hormones. That's the take-home message here. The more stress hormones we make, the less fertility hormones we're going to have available for us because they're both being derived from the same source. So if your body's turning that pregnenolone and progesterone into cortisol, it's not going to have enough available for testosterone. For guys who are dealing with ED or guys who have got body fat issues or want to build more muscle as they get older, or for women who want to stay away from wrinkles or who are trying to have a baby, the more your body is converting pregnenolone and progesterone into stress hormones, the less anti-aging, youth and fertility and muscle building hormone it's going to be able to make. Just another reason to calm the body down. You have to pick one health strategy. If you have to pick one thing, especially if you're dealing with chronic degenerative disease symptoms, it's calm the body down. Have that pregnenolone and progesterone being shunted off into estrogen and testosterone rather than into cortisol. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, so we are talking progesterone, pregnenolone, the steroid hormones. If you're off making, if you're turning your pregnenolone and progesterone into cortisol, you're not going to have enough to make your fun hormones, your sex hormones, your growth hormones, your fertility hormones, your creativity hormones, your bone building hormones, your anti-wrinkle hormones. And this is just another reason why you want to make sure that no matter what your health challenge is, or even if you're not dealing with a health challenge and you just don't want to have one, you relax the body, especially with oxygenation and deep breathing. One of progesterone's really interesting roles, like pregnenolone, involves mental health and the health of the brain health. The brain contains large amounts of progesterone. For menopausal women, progesterone, according to research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, appears to be related to mental cognition as well as for verbal memory. This is in menopausal women who sometimes notice they have a little bit of confusion. Well, when you go through menopause, your progesterone drops precipitously. Estrogen drops too, but not as dramatically as progesterone, and progesterone deficiency is way more significant for menopausal women than estrogen deficiency. This protective effect on the brain is not just for menopausal women, it's also for men. Men's brains make progesterone. It's also for the developing fetus. Progesterone is important for keeping the fetal brain tissue healthy or developed appropriately. And progesterone is also important, like pregnenolone, for folks dealing with brain injury. Traumatic brain injury, it has a protective effect, and it also has a healing effect for the injured brain. So progesterone, like pregnenolone, is a coping hormone. It's an anti-stress hormone. It gets turned into cortisol, and when progesterone levels drop as we get older, we become more dependent on cortisol. As progesterone levels drop with age, cortisol becomes much more relevant. And cortisol, elevated cortisol, is extremely common in older folks. Part of it, of course, is due to a long life of bodily abuse. Part of it is due to insulin resistance and problems with sugar. But part of it has to do with deficiencies in progesterone. The body becomes more dependent on cortisol as an anti-stress hormone. One of the neat things about using progesterone and pregnenolone for stress is your body doesn't have to be as dependent on cortisol. If you're aging, say you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s, and you're having problems sleeping perhaps, jitteriness, depression, chances are pretty darn good you're dealing with elevated cortisol. Same thing with osteoporosis or skin aging or the accumulation of belly fat. All of these are signs that your body is starting to produce cortisol. Using progesterone and pregnenolone can help keep the body from being so dependent on this much stronger stress hormone. And so using progesterone as well as pregnenolone can be helpful for older folks who are dealing with some of these issues, particularly osteoporosis, depression, well, really anything that has to do with cortisol. Using progesterone can be very, very helpful. Progesterone, like pregnenolone, can also be helpful for seizure control. Progesterone is also important for the respiratory system. It promotes respiration. It's been used to treat emphysema and obstructive lung disease. Progesterone is important for the cardiovascular system. It's important for the health of the heart and the circulatory system. And progesterone is a bone-building substance, unlike estrogen. A lot of women know that if they are dealing with osteoporosis, the doctor will say, well, I think we got to put you on estrogen. Well, estrogen doesn't help you build bone. What estrogen does is it slows down the breakdown of bone. Bone is constantly being remodeled. That's actually what they call it. They call it remodeling. Your bone is being broken down, and then it's being built up. This is an important process because it assures the body of having a constant supply of strong bone, out with the old and in with the new, as they say. Well, how does estrogen work? Well, it slows down the breakdown of old bone. So you still have your bone, but it's weaker bone. And by the way, this is how Fosamax works and the drugs they call the bisphosphonate drugs, such as Boniva. All of these drugs slow down bone breakdown. They don't do anything to build bone. Building bone is in the realm of progesterone. So if you're really interested in building bone, make sure you're using a progesterone supplement, or even pregnenolone for that matter. That can have a positive effect on bone building via its conversion into progesterone. Progesterone is a pro-libido vitamin. Estrogen shuts down the libido, shuts down sexual desire, and progesterone stimulates it. Estrogen amps up the immune system. Progesterone calms down the immune system. The thymus, the body, a really very interesting gland that nobody ever talks about, located right up kind of in the upper part of your chest. That's your body's immune gland, and the thymus contains extremely high amounts of progesterone. There's probably more, well, I don't want to say the most in the body, but there's a lot of progesterone in the thymus, and this points to progesterone's very important role in building the immune system. So progesterone is your calming hormone, and it opposes or antagonizes estrogen, which is an amp-up hormone. And if you're on hormone replacement therapy, or specifically if you're on estrogen replacement therapy, you always want to make sure you're using progesterone to balance out the stimulating effects of estrogen. The stimulating effect of estrogen is what accounts for its cancer-causing properties. According to the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, estrogen is a known cancer promoter. Yes, estrogen is a known cancer promoter. That alone should tell you that if you're on hormone replacement therapy, you want to be extremely careful with it. If you're on, I should say, estrogen replacement therapy, you want to be extremely careful with it. Progesterone's calming effects can help balance out and have protect against some of the cancer-causing effects of estrogen. Progesterone's calming effects also make it an ideal treatment for menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, insomnia, emotional jitteriness, anxiety. All of these can be induced by estrogen and some of its derivatives. One of the problems with estrogen is not estrogen itself, but the derivatives, the breakdown products, the metabolites of estrogen. And these substances, which are technically called catechol estrogens, Catechol, can be balanced out by using progesterone. Progesterone improves the activity of serotonin. It helps improve mood. Serotonin is a coping hormone like progesterone and pregnenolone, slightly different. Serotonin is a vigilance hormone. It's an awareness hormone. It's a daytime hormone. It helps us become aware of the ups and downs that occur in daytime life. Well, progesterone improves the activity of serotonin receptors. In a sense, progesterone is a natural SSRI drug. It's a non-toxic SSRI drug of sorts. All right, I'm Pharmacist Benny. From the University of Dundee and Glasgow in Scotland. This is research from the British Heart Foundation. People with kidney disease have a greater risk of having a heart attack, and it turns out that vitamin K can be helpful. Vitamin K, as we were talking earlier, has a role to play when it comes to steroid hormones. It actually activates certain steroid, or stimulates the effects of certain steroid hormones, particularly when it comes to bone health, but apparently also when it comes to kidney disease, vitamin K can also play a very important role. Vitamin K is our calcium-controlling vitamin, and one of the reasons why we end up with kidney kidney disease and strokes and problems with the blood, including hypertension and cardiovascular disease, is because of calcification, too much calcium floating around in the blood. Now, this doesn't have to do so much with the kind of calcium we're getting or the amount of calcium we're getting in the diet. It has to do with how the body processes calcium, and vitamin K plays a major, major role in helping the body utilize calcium as well as helping the body store and process it. Let's see. This one here from the journal Cell Metabolism, new clues in mice link cholesterol to fertility. Well, now you guys know why that happens. Cholesterol is super important stuff. New study. This one was published in the June issue of Cell Metabolism, implicates cholesterol when it comes to making fertility hormones, particularly in the ovaries. And by the way, all of these hormones that we're talking about, these steroid hormones, while they are primarily made in our reproductive glands, in the testes and the ovaries, they're also made in the adrenal glands. In fact, as a woman goes into menopause, most of these steroid hormones are actually made in the adrenal glands, and that's why keeping your adrenals healthy with relaxation strategies, as well as things like zinc and iodine and salt, magnesium also, can be so important for helping the body work with steroids and helping calm down the adrenal glands if you're dealing with adrenal fatigue. One of the classic signs of adrenal fatigue issues is if you feel a little woozy or dizzy when you stand up or when you sit up out of a lying down position. If that occurs to you, if you're sitting and you stand up and you feel a little dizzy, or if you get out of bed and you feel a little bit dizzy, or if you're exercising, you're bending down and standing up and you feel a little dizzy or woozy, that's a classic sign of adrenal fatigue, and you may want to think about using some of these strategies, nutritional strategies like zinc and magnesium and iodine and vitamin B12 and the B complex, all of which are super important for adrenal health. Salt water, Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt in water. These are very important for helping stabilize adrenal health, as well as relaxation techniques, things like massage or yoga, stretching, hot tubs, hot water, and of course, good old deep diaphragmatic breathing, focusing on the exhale. Always want to exhale a little bit more than you inhale. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let us motivate to Marin County. What's going on, Flynn? How you doing? Welcome to the bright side.
Good, man. It's a bit of an early morning for me. I was up late last night talking to a good friend of mine.
All right.
He's had an addiction to benzodiazepines.
Benzodiazepines, Valium, Xanax, that kind of thing?
Ativan.
Ativan, okay. That's a particularly nasty one. So he's trying to wean himself off of it?
Well, he already got off it.
Okay.
And he just he'd protracted a withdrawal syndrome, and he reacts to almost all pharmaceuticals. And he was on them for 2 years, and he had a severe withdrawal. And now he gets he's extremely sensitive to everything, and he gets these crazy symptoms of stress, intolerance, anxiety, mental confusion, apathy, exercise intolerance.
He's got a whole laundry list there. Whole laundry list. Is he on a supplement? This is a guy whose body's screaming for nutritional supplements. He may be suffering from nutritional deficiency, actually. That's what it could very well be. Here's a couple. First of all, get him on the Healthy Star Pack as soon as possible. Just get the basics in there, in his system. And then there's a few nutrients that can help calm him down a little bit. Pregnenolone, which we've been talking about. I don't know if you've heard us, but for the last few weeks we've been talking about that. That can be really helpful for him. 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams a day. He may want to try some GABA. GABA, maybe 200 to 500 milligrams a day. Actually, at night is the best way to do his GABA. Absolutely, positively get him on magnesium, 2,000 or so milligrams a day. He may benefit from lithium orotate, maybe 5 milligrams or so, a capsule every day. And then a couple other things that he may get some benefits from. The Ultimate Niacin, which is a new longevity product, a timed release niacin, 500 milligrams a day. Niacin is super important for brain health, helps him make serotonin, all of which can have coping benefits. Keeping his sugar down, I cannot stress that enough. Keeping his sugar down and having him do more protein, especially whey protein. If he's not a vegan or vegetarian, have him do whey protein. Very stabilizing and very grounding, as opposed to sugar, which is very exciting, shall we say, not in a good way. It amps the body up, so keeping his sugar down. And he may also want to try nutrients to help his body process sugar, things like the B vitamins, as well as niacin and zinc and magnesium and selenium and sulfur, for that matter. and of course chromium and vanadium. And then do not underestimate the importance of calming the body down. Hot tubs, hot water, and also deep diaphragmatic breathing. In fact, when he goes into those jittery modes, just have him sit on the couch and slow the body down with deep diaphragmatic breathing, focusing on the exhale. The exhale is where we relax the body, not the inhale. So always exhale a little bit more than you inhale. Okay, I hope I helped you, man. Anything else?
Yeah. He talks about, I'm a little, I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to get him to do so many things because he gets so paranoid about what he takes if it's going to happen.
Have him listen to the archive. Take him to the archive and have him listen. Have him do whatever he wants to do. Or you can send me an email if you like and put your phone number in there and I'll get back to you. Or go ahead.
This is all stuff that helps his GABA receptors because that's what he's really...
In a sense, yeah. More than that, but partially, things like the GABA will do it. They actually give GABA-like drugs. Do you ever hear this drug called Lyrica? Have you heard of this drug, Lyrica? They give it to you for people with fibromyalgia and emotional disorders and anxiety. That's basically GABA, a tweaked version of GABA. So yeah, if he takes GABA and does some of these other things, he'll definitely notice a relaxing effect, especially the sugar, by the way. All right, I got to move, Flynn. Thanks so much for your call, man. Take care, bro.
Thank you.
All right, Robert in Vegas. What's up, man? Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hey, Charles, it's Ben Hughes. How are you? Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, thanks for calling. What's up?
Sure. And before I get to my point, I got to say, man, listen to you a lot. You are an absolute nutritional savant. And I hope you know what the word savant means.
I do know it. I know what it is in terms of an idiot savant, but if you call me a nutritional
savant... you ain't no idiot, bro. You ain't no idiot. You're the second half. You're the man.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that.
I listened to ESPN Mike and Mike morning show the other day.
Okay.
Sports Talk. And a guy named John Sally was on there, and I don't know if you follow the NBA.
John who?
What? John Sally.
He's a basketball player, right? Was he a basketball player?
Early 90s Detroit Pistons, him and Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer.
Yes.
Anyway, you is a passion. I hear music.
Robert, you're cutting out. Hang tight. We've got to take a break, and we'll get you first up when we come back, okay? Don't go away. I want to hear what you have to say. All right. We're talking to Robert in Vegas. You there, Robert?
Yeah, I'm right here, Ben. I get the point. So anyway, John Sally is like you. He's a passionate vegan.
Okay. Well, I'm not a vegan. I can't say I'm a vegan.
Okay. Well, he is, and he was saying that a lot of people who eat meat use the defense. Well, you eat meat to get your protein. He says, well, what about the primates, gorillas and apes and such? They are as strong as 10 men, yet they live on plants.
That's called a straw man. That's called a straw man. When you make a fake argument and then knock it down, that's not true. There's the reason veganism, the problem with veganism, and the reason why eating animal-based foods, and I'm not including meat in that, is so important is because of growth factors. There are elements in eggs and in dairy, which are not vegan-friendly foods, obviously, called growth factors. They're only found in egg and dairy. They're not found in any other foods. So if you're a vegan, you're missing out on those. Secondly, there are substances like vitamin B12 and building proteins that are found in higher concentrations in animal protein. You can get away with being a vegan, but you just got to be much more careful. And as far as the primate argument goes, these primates have to eat all day long. That's how they do it. They don't do it like us where they eat periodically throughout the day. They got to eat calories all day long in order to get the nutrients that they need. Animal protein is a very dense source of nutrients in addition to the growth factors, which are extremely important, and I don't want to marginalize those because they're very, very important, and no vegans ever talk about those. Nobody ever really talks about them. So you're not going to get those, number one. You're not going to get the super high concentrations, the density that you get of protein that you get when you do dairy and egg, as well as meat and fish to a certain extent, so you got to eat a lot more calories. And as far as those primates go, yes, it's true, they're big and strong, but they spend their entire day eating, which we can't do. So between all of that, the veganism argument is just silly to me. However, the one place where veganism is not silly, and where you have to take it seriously, is in the ethical nature of eating animals. You know, I know we live on planet Earth and there's a food chain and everything eats everything else, but it's just troubling to have to kill something to eat it. And then to eat it, I can see how people don't want to do it. But to try to make a scientific argument for it, it's not fair. It's dishonest. the fact of the matter is, and by the way, sometimes there's a guy named Thomas Campbell, I think his name is. He wrote I forgot the name of his book, the China Diet. He wrote a few books like this, and what vegans and vegetarians do is they'll point to the fact that people eat meat and get cancer, or people eat meat or dairy and they get sick. What they're not telling you is that the meat is overcooked, or the dairy is from hormones and cows that have been given hormones and antibiotics. So they're skewing the results. It's not really fair. Just if you take good, clean meat, a wild meat, for example, that you hunted, wild game that's eating grass and that's in its natural environment, or fish the same way, you can't compare. There's no vegan food that can even come close, that can even touch the nutrient density of that kind of food. Is going vegan a good idea if you're stuck eating the way we eat in this country, where you eat crappy dairy and crappy eggs, and eggs from chickens that have been fed hormones and antibiotics? You know what I'm saying? How we process our animal food? Yes, that's a problem. Sure. But to try to apply that problem to just the basic facts of what's in meat and what's in dairy, there's no way vegetables can even touch the nutrient density that's in animal foods. And by the way, as an aside, which we've talked about before, but for new listeners, there's no toxic meat, but there's lots of toxic plants. And there's lots of plants that people will react to that contain substances called lectins that can initiate arthritis and immune problems and digestive problems, etc. But there's no toxic meat. So that's just as an aside. That's not based on, that has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. But the idea that somehow veganism and vegetarianism is all clean and lovely and benign and light, and meat is evil and dark, and animal foods are somehow satanic, that doesn't wash, and I don't buy that. So you can get by as a vegan, but you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. It's going to be harder to get everything you need. Does that help, Robert?
It absolutely does. You just killed his argument. Dang. I had no idea.
Okay, good deal.
Killed it. Wow. Oh, and by the way, sorry, I didn't know you weren't a vegan. The way you talked, I assumed you were. But so no. You eat meat, but just not a lot of it.
I don't eat a lot of meat. Not a lot at all. But I do eat fish, and I do eat eggs, and I do like the wonderful cheese, Jordan Rubin's wonderful cheese, by the way.
Gotcha. Makes perfect sense. Okay, thanks, bud. Okay.
Take care, Robert. Have a good day, man. Thanks for calling. Thanks for the kind words, too. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go to Dave in Connecticut. Welcome to the bright side, Dave. What's up, man?
Hi, how you doing? I recently had blood work done, and because I was having severe anxiety and panic attacks, and I've had it my whole life, but the last few months have been severe. I got some blood work done and some urine analysis, and they found that my cortisol levels were a lot higher than what they should be. I think they were 115. I think the high side was 80. And all my neurotransmitters through urine, which isn't really, accurate, if you will, but they weren't even able to register.
How old are you, Dave?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 in June.
What's your height to weight?
I'm 5'7.5". Got to put that half in there, and I'm 215. But I'm muscular. I've been an athlete my whole life.
Gotcha. Okay, good deal. All right, so a couple things. Cortisol levels will go up for several reasons. Number one, they'll go up for physiologic reasons. If there's some kind of degeneration in the body, they'll go up. If your body is under chronic stress from the digestive system, they'll go up. And if you have blood sugar issues, they'll go up. So from a physiologic perspective, number one, you want to figure out what's going on in terms of the digestive system. If you have any food allergies or food intolerances, or you're not processing food correctly, and that means doing a food diary, eliminating problem foods, going ketogenic, doing a Suero V cleanse or a fast, a couple of days, and then doing a food diary, kind of cleaning up the digestive system, and then also using nutrients that support the digestive system. And chief among those, of course, are the probiotics, the good bacteria. I like the Nightly Essence from Youngevity, as well as fermented foods and vegetable juices. That's the first thing. So we want to address the physiologic aspect, keeping your blood sugar stable, more protein and less foods that spike your blood sugar, and nutrients that help your body process sugar. And then I'm assuming you don't have any degenerative health issues. You sound young, you sound strong, so you're probably okay there. Also, slowing the body down with deep breathing is extremely important. And I know I said it a few times already today, but I'll say it again. Slowly in through the nose, slowly out through the nose, making sure you're exhaling more than you're inhaling. Both oxygen and carbon dioxide are both important. And in the exhale, if you exhale slowly, the carbon dioxide will stay in your body a little bit longer, or in your blood a little bit longer. So making sure you're exhaling a little bit longer than you're inhaling, and doing it periodically throughout the day. You should be doing it 2 or 3 times a day, and then when you're driving or waiting in line at the bank or at a restaurant waiting for food, whenever you can think about it, slow, deep breathing can make a huge difference. The next thing is you want to start supplementing with pregnenolone or progesterone, but I would do pregnenolone first. Get yourself on 100 to 200 milligrams a day. The more pregnenolone and progesterone are available for your body to utilize, the less they're going to have to depend on cortisol. So using 100 to 200 milligrams of pregnenolone at night, and then perhaps some progesterone. If you want to use some progesterone cream, a little bit progesterone cream, but I would stick with the pregnenolone if I were you. And then please don't underestimate. We don't talk about this a lot, but it's extremely important. If you're dealing with elevated cortisol, there's a good possibility there's mental and emotional things happening where you're obsessively thinking about certain things, or you're worried about certain things, or you've got some unhealthy emotional things happening, anger or forgiveness or lack of forgiveness or depression or anything like that. Those have to be addressed as well. I don't want to be the kind of nutritionist who just says take this vitamin or this mineral or this supplement. It doesn't work that way. Healing and health are multidimensional: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. In that order, by the way. The physical's the end. So you got to address the mental component. Get self-help books, whatever that is. Read anything you could do about how you control the mind, how you control the emotions. I love the book The Power of Now. That's a great book. There's all kinds of wonderful. We had a guy yesterday who's got a book called Natural Born Heroes. Anything you can do to work on the mental and mental and emotional aspects, and as well as finding spiritual connection. I don't want to make this too much about, make this a spiritual show, but that's extremely important when it comes to health and wellness, the spiritual aspect. When we feel separated from our environment, the survival chemistry kicks in when we feel separated. In fact, the word sin, S-I-N, sin, comes from the Latin to separate. When we feel separated from the world, when we feel separated from our fellow man, when we feel separated from the universe, our body kicks into survival mode, and that will jack up your cortisol really fast. So working on the spiritual connection is really important. And I know I don't say it enough, but it's so darn important. We're spiritual beings before we're anything else, and understanding that we're all connected into this universal God force, whatever you want to call it, is a key part of staying healthy and well. Dave, I'm out of time, buddy, but thanks for your call. I hope we helped you out. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Sorry if we left you on hold. Got to call in early on the bright side at 844-236-6010. Check out our skin health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. And if you want to purchase any of the longevity products, head over to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Have yourselves a awesome, wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about health care. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Dr. Joel Wallach here. If you're a baby boomer and you're worried about the big epidemics coming, and I'm not talking about the bird flu or the swine flu, I'm talking about epidemics of Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, arthritis, cancer. That's because the 80 million baby boomers followed all the advice of doctors, and Houston, we have a problem.
See Dr. Wallach live in Farmington, New Mexico, Thursday, May 12th at 7 p.m. Go to www.cdocinfarmington.com. That's www.cdocinfarmington.com.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or 800-544-3533. 3533.
800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533. 800
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
How would you like to make 17% on your money in only 90 days? That's right. Gold owners made 17% in only 3 months as gold had its best quarterly gain in 30 years. Gold is on the move, and you need to get government-issued, legal tender gold coins starting at only $139 each. The U.S. Money Reserve, one of the largest gold distributors in the country, announces the first ever at-cost gold release on this station for only $139 each. 1-866-944-GOLD or online at usmoneyreserve.com. Official U.S. government-issued legal tender solid gold coins at cost for only $139 each. Call 1-866-944-GOLD. Ask for a free 55-page gold buyer's book. Plus, get a free Walking Liberty $50 just for reading this must-have book all about gold. Remember, gold is on the move, up 17%. Call 1-866-944-GOLD.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or 800-544-3533.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs loves Beyond Tangy Tangerine, a complete nutritional supplement
from Youngevity. That's why he recommends it to everyone he meets and takes it himself every day.
Beyond Tangy Tangerine, my personal favorite Youngevity product, multivitamin mineral complex powder. You add it to water and drink. It's a great way to get yourself off the snack foods. It's a great way to demonstrate to folks who are non-believers in nutritional supplementation how effective a supplement program can be. It's great for kids. It tastes awesome. It's less than $50 a month, and it's truly a cornucopia of nutrition. Vitamins A, C, D, E, K, your B complex.
To get a nutritional supplement that's loaded with nutrients that even your kids will like, order Beyond Tangy Tangerine from Youngevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Bad news, Americans. You're probably stockpiling for a disaster all wrong. When the big one comes, you'll need more than that poisonous, oversalted survival food you now see everywhere. There are 3 vital things that your survival food is missing, and it's the first thing to disappear from grocery stores. Go to superfoodradio.com now to see my story of how I nearly died when I was forced to live on a popular survival food. That's superfoodradio.com, and I'll show you how everything you've been told about survival food is dead wrong. Go to superfoodradio.com now.
Mother's Day is next week, and Pro Flowers is offering an amazing special. 100 stunning blooms for mom, plus a free glass vase for $19.99. Go to proflowers.com. Click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 3434. But hurry, this incredible deal expires this Friday. With fresh flowers, guaranteed delivery, and add-ons to complete your gift, Pro Flowers has everything you need to be a gifting expert on Mother's Day. Order now from Pro Flowers to get huge savings. You pick the delivery date, and it's guaranteed. 100 colorful blooms sent fresh from the field and guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least 7 days for $19.99, and will include a free glass vase. Hurry, Mother's Day is next week, and this incredible special expires this Friday. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com. Click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 3434. That's proflowers.com, secret code 3434.
Shipping charges not included. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Would you like to receive $250 to $1,000 cash per day? Go to richmoneyrich.com. No website, no selling, no explaining. Just take these simple 2 steps and go to richmoneyrich.com. You can be generating cash in the next 24 hours simply using this system. Good news is, it runs on 100% autopilot, and you don't need any experience to get started. It's easy. Get your share of easy riches and go to richmoneyrich.com. That's richmoneyrich.com. Go now. Brought to you by the Conservative Investor. Current returns not indicative of future results.